Hello guys, welcome back to Owl003. Please like, subscribe, and share the content. Um, today's what I'm going to talk to you about is this crazy, excuse me, this crazy series of events that I have found myself into. Um, and I've been trying to figure out a way to talk about this. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the best I can. And I feel like I'm really going out on a limb and doing that for a lot of reasons. One is um, I'm a remote viewer. Okay, so I'm not, a typical classical psychic. I try and keep my feet on the ground as much as I can. Um, so I'm going to start at the beginning. A colleague of mine was having, and I'll have him on at some point where he talks about he was feeling that he was getting these like dreams or something. Like he had felt that he needed to task Hitomi. Okay, let's make a long story short, right? So he did this. He tasked me blindly, Hitomi, Akamatsu, um, and the tasking was written in such a way that I was to dock with the subconscious mind of Hitomi. Now, that session ended up being a lot less of a remote viewing session and more of like a telepathic communication is the best way I could describe it. And so in that session, she said a lot of many things to me, I felt. And during the session, it kind of seemed like I was in a meeting or something. It felt like there was all this planning coming together. Well, shortly after that, we had submitted this proposal to this, for this project Bigelow was doing, because it seemed like there was something in motion, and I was just going with it. And she seemed like a good kind of intermediary for this project we were doing. By the way, if you are watching this and you live in Japan and you speak English, this is another thing for everybody. Hitomi is quickly becoming like my fastest growing video. It's getting a ton of attention out of Japan, and I just can't figure out why. So if you're feeling drawn to this Hitomi video for some reason, I really like to hear from you. You can reach out to me on Facebook or Messenger, or leave a comment below. But so anyway, so I get tasked to Hitomi, and we do this Bigelow project. The project, they don't end up not taking any remote viewing projects, so we just kind of moved on with other things. So February 2nd, I got a text from someone that I'm going to keep anonymous for their own privacy. And I saw a text that come in from someone I didn't recognize, and I just kind of ignored it. I forgot about it, basically. Cut to very recently, I was involved in a project where I find myself really in a unique situation where I was so deep into the session, I ended up the only way I could describe it is it wasn't as if like somebody was in my body, like channeling me. It's like I was in their body, experiencing these things, rituals and stuff. Anyway, it's crazy. But in the process, there has been the only thing I could just, it's hard. It's almost like I can only describe it as like a Kundalini type effect in that it's opened me up even farther. And all this regular psychic stuff is coming out, where I'm just evoking the signal and tuning into whatever people are, kind of thinking about, or just regular psychic stuff. They just never really drew on. And a lot of other things, okay? But suffice it to say, it was kind of like I broke through, like, the last wall. Now, after having all these, regarding that situation, all these very interesting things happening, all these synchronicities started lining up. So and very shortly after this project, I go home, and I think to myself, I should check out this text from this woman that she sent me. So I'm going to read what she said. I'm going to leave her name out, kind of her, about her. It's a woman, but I'm going to keep her in anonymity. Now, this is what she has voice recordings and she has text. So I'm going to talk about the voice recording. I'm going to go through the whole thing. Hey, David, name redacted. I know you don't know me, and I don't know you. I am an inexperienced technical remote viewer. I don't know what you like to call it. I don't follow pages. I just happened to find yours on Facebook, and then immediately was pulled to your newest YouTube video that you posted, and was immediately pulled energetically to watch your very first video that you posted, and then you noted something about Hitomi. I don't know what that is, if that's a person, place, thing, but I'm gathering some kind of extremely strong message from that. So just take this with a grain of salt. I'm just a middle-aged mom. I live in location redacted, but I have 2 little kids. I'm a job redacted. I'm a normal person, but I have always kind of had a spiritual gift. Anyway, I'm going to just send you what I wrote down. What was coming from whatever, who Hitomi is, I don't know if that's a person, but it's from what I got. This is a person, and I got a very clear message. Now, some of these things that I'm about to talk about, I didn't mention in the video. The video I actually kind of rushed through. But I found myself on the beach with Hitomi. Hitomi had taken me to the beach. We were in one place, and she just, all of a sudden, we were somewhere else, okay, in the session. And I just wanted to share it with you, and I'll send it now. Okay, so that was the end of the voice recording. Here's the text from her. For David Powell, owl003. Your posting on YouTube and me seeing it is a confirmation from Hitomi. Good job sharing with others. Proud of you. Owl003. Hitomi, she told you to spread love, which she did tell me that. I asked her what was the most important thing. She told me to spread love. It was a reminder about energy exchange and electron suckers. Saw 1111 time on her phone. This is when she's having this experience. And I want you to remember that 1111, okay, is significant to her and her ability, right? My YouTube video started over at the same time my heater was knocked off the chair. Not mean or bad energy in the bedroom, as I'm just putting laundry away. She wants you on the beach because it's electrical exchange grounding. Please lay on the ground or sand, then have a session to talk to her, and she will be able to communicate with you better. Spend some more time with me, and I need to get it out, using understandable interactions for you to understand, but I didn't mean it in a flirty in the human way, okay, because I described it as kind of, she seemed flirty to me, okay, in the session, which I don't think I mentioned that in the video either. And this is another thing I mentioned in the session, in the summary, she's extremely powerful in this realm, okay. This is what she writes. She's sweet, but very powerful. Okay, that's the end of the text. Now she goes into a voice message, which I'll read in text form. Okay, this is my notes. You may not be able to understand, so I just want to clarify. For me, 1111, about 10 years ago, I started realizing that it means something, because I would see it all the time, and decode it. There are certain things, even my license plate decodes to 1111, which is just funny to me. I didn't pay for that or anything. It's just the letters and the alphabet and all that. Anyway, even my address, goes on a bit. Anyway, so the 1111 is just confirmation for me using my own gift that it means something. And it's not just coming from something else that's trying to distract me. Because I know how to differentiate between two things, where other energies, things like that, are not coming from a genuine place. So for me, it was confirmation. Kind of like the decoding that I have in my own ability, I guess. The second thing is, I've never had anything like knock over anything like that. And she, on your video, she restarted your video while she was watching it. I guess it restarted on her. I was watching she believed Hitomi actually restarted the video when she was watching it. I was watching your YouTube video and she stopped it and replayed it from the beginning. I didn't touch the remote. And then literally at the same time, the heater falls over. Anyway, it was confirmation that, okay, fine, I'll send this guy a message and sound like a crazy lady, but I guess I'll just do it. I'm working as some kind of middle person, and I don't know why. Maybe you'll figure it out later, and that's not up to me. I don't even need to know what comes out of it. If there is something that comes out of it, or you were able to gain some kind of anything, you can let me know. If not, that's fine too. But you're supposed to somehow connect with Hitomi, but in a way where you're grounded. So like on sand, or even with your feet in on the ground, or laying on the ground of the actual ground around your house. Which I live in Florida, so it's kind of funny because we'll get into that. But it was okay, even if your feet is in a bucket of sand, fine. Or if you happen to be on a beach. If you live somewhere on a beach, that would be so nice. But if not, then just urgently though, excuse me, there's some kind of urgency. She was just extremely eager. So anyway, it's Friday, February 2nd. Time now is 11:33, and I hope you have a great day. Now, the session that I had with Hitomi was a very memorable one. It's one of the, one in a, it's probably the most memorable session I ever had in a very good way. So I felt I owed it to her to at least try. So I got up this past Saturday, and I went to the beach. On the way to the beach, some things happened. Now remember, she's watching this on this channel, Owl003. And I'm going, there's just a little village area, like shopping area. It's very small. And the spot I plan on heading there, there was an activity going on that I'd never seen there before. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you. I'm here all the time. It's the first time I've ever seen anything like this happening. Owls. It's an interesting synchronicity. Now, in addition to that, when I saw this, I texted them and I said, could you believe this? There's owls here. And not even realizing it. Look at the time. 11:11. Now again, I'm not, you know, I just, like I said, I just want to put this stuff out there. If you guys, you know, um, so something else. Now, in my session with Hitomi, there's something about my perception where if I happen to be tasked something that's spiritually esoteric, and there's something there that wants to deal with me on a direct way basis, I just sketch myself into the session. I get everything like that. I mean, I'm there and whatever. So when I had this session, I had let's get. This getting bigger. Well, whatever. Okay. And I quickly picked up on her very quickly. On the beach. But here's what I find very interesting. There it is. So I find myself on this beach, back then, and I just figured maybe this is some like hut or something, by her. I'm thinking maybe when at the time during the session years ago when I did this, I'm thinking maybe this is someplace by where she lives or something. And the spot that I go to has this tiki like bar set up over here. And I just thought that was kind of interesting. Now, so it was busier there than I thought it was going to be. I tried to go there early. But I did feel like some things came through. There was a lot that seemed like it was kind of like directed towards me, like directly, and then there's other stuff that seemed more general. And I'm just going to tell you what I felt was kind of like the general thing, and like I said, I don't know what this is. I'm out of my territory, okay? To be completely honest. But I'm just going with it at this point. So, one thing she did mention that seemed outside of me was the words "a winter war." Like the world is going through what she describes as a rebirthing process. There's going to be growing pains along the way. She's telling me to be a good boy. I also feel like she's trying to describe to me like that her presence or whoever, there's no real distance between us. It's like she's telling me she's actually right here, I inquired about why this video is like taking off in Japan, for this little YouTube channel I just started. And she's describing it like an uptick in awakening, like maybe she's visiting these people, or I don't know. She does make mention of frequent visitations, like on planet Earth. So there's some other stuff in there, but this was a huge step for me to even just bring this up, just to talk about this, guys. So take it for what it's worth. So now about much as I do, and hopefully, as time unfolds, maybe this little mystery will unfold further. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I'll catch you next time on Owl003.